Acceptance letter clutched in my hand, I held it up in front of them, my voice trembling with a mix of triumph and anger. I got in. Medical school. Full tuition would have been covered by my fund, the fund you gave to Trevor for a sports car. My fingers gripped the paper so tightly it crinkled at the edges, the sound mirroring the fracturing of my dreams. Trevor leaned against his gleaming new Corvette, its metallic blue paint catching the afternoon sun. He rolled his eyes with practiced indifference. "Come on, Paige, don't be so dramatic. You can take out loans like normal people. That's what your nursing friends do, right?" The casual dismissal stung worse than outright cruelty. Normal people didn't have their future stolen by their own family. I turned to my parents, searching their faces for any flicker of remorse or understanding. Eleanor and Richard Davis, pillars of suburban respectability, stood unmoved, their expressions a perfect blend of mild annoyance and dismissal that I'd perfected recognizing over 32 years. "Paige," Mom said, smoothing her cardigan with manicured fingers, "sometimes in life we have to make sacrifices for family." Trevor needed this opportunity. The unfairness crashed over me like a physical wave. Funny how I'm the only one ever sacrificing anything. My voice cracked as years of being second best crystallized in this moment. I stormed back into the house, ignoring their calls, the acceptance letter still clutched in my hand, worthless now without the means to act on it. My phone buzzed against my hip. A text from my best friend Naomi. "How'd it go? Did they confess to using your med school fund?" I typed back with shaking fingers, "Worse. They're proud of it. Like they made the right choice." My nursing ID badge caught the light as I set the phone down. 5 years of 12-hour shifts, comforting dying patients, and fighting through a pandemic, all while saving for medical school, gone in an instant for Trevor's midlife crisis on wheels. With trembling hands, I dialed another number. After 2 rings, a familiar voice answered. "Marcus, it's Paige. Remember that sales position you mentioned at the dealership? The one you talked about during your hospital stay? Is it still available?" "Yeah, starts next week." "Why? Thought you were all about becoming a doctor." His voice carried surprise, but no judgment. I watched through my window as my family continued admiring Trevor's car, their laughter floating up like toxic fumes. "Because I'm done waiting for handouts. I'm going to build my own future." My medical textbooks lined the shelf behind me, mocking reminders of a path now blocked. "Then I'm going to make them wish they'd believed in me." "That's pretty intense," Marcus said, his tone softening. "Medical burnout finally got to you, huh? You sure about this career change?" I gripped my phone tighter, remembering the countless times I'd explained patient care to Trevor only to be dismissed. They took everything from me and called it a sacrifice. Now I'm going to show them what real sacrifice and success looks like. "When can I start?" "Monday, 9 a.m. sharp. We could use someone with your people skills." "I'll be there." I ended the call and caught my reflection in the window. The woman staring back wasn't the same exhausted nurse who'd woken up this morning hoping for family support. She was someone stronger, someone who'd just discovered that revenge doesn't always wear a dark cloak. Sometimes it dresses in determination and wears a name tag. My phone buzzed again. "Naomi, want me to come over? I can bring emergency ice cream." "No," I replied. "I need to start planning. This isn't over." Below, Trevor revved his engine, showing off for our parents. The sound echoed through our quiet suburban street, but all I heard was opportunity. He thought he'd won, but he'd just handed me something far more valuable than money. He'd given me motivation. I pulled out my nursing planner and started writing. First step, enroll in business night classes. Second step, master car sales. Final step, make them regret ever choosing him over me. Game on, big brother. Game on. 3 months into my new routine and I was running on coffee and determination. Business classes during evenings, dealership work with Marcus during days, and weekend study sessions for certification exams. Sleep had become a luxury I couldn't afford, but for the first time in years, I felt alive. You look like you just finished a triple shift in the ICU, Naomi said, sliding a fresh coffee across the dealership's break room table. Her counselor instincts were on full display as she studied my face. When's the last time you actually slept more than 4 hours? Sleep is for people whose brothers didn't steal their medical school fund, I muttered, gratefully gulping down the coffee. The familiar burn reminded me of hospital nights. Besides, I'm close to having enough saved for next semester's business courses. Marcus walked in, waving a paper. Paige, got something you might want to see. I reached for it, but he held it just out of reach. Before I show you this, promise me you're not going to work yourself into a collapse. I've seen enough medical professionals burn out to recognize the signs. I promise nothing. I snatched the paper from his hand and started reading. My eyes widened as the words came into focus. The Maxwell Scholarship for Business Innovation, full ride to any university in the state? Marcus nodded, a small smile playing at the corners of his mouth. Plus living expenses. The dealership's been asked to sponsor this year's competition. Thought it might interest a former healthcare worker with big plans. Naomi peered over my shoulder, her eyes bright with excitement. Holy crap, Paige. This is exactly what you need. A legitimate path to your business degree. There's more, Marcus said, pulling out his phone. Check your email. Just got the invite to the regional auto show. Your brother registered his precious Corvette. I nearly choked on my coffee, the bitter liquid burning my throat. The same show where they announced the scholarship winner? The very same, Marcus smiled. Funny how things work out, isn't it? Almost like karma's giving you a stage. My mind was already racing with possibilities, my nursing training kicking in as I systematically assessed the situation. When are the scholarship interviews? 2 weeks before the show. But I need a project, I interrupted, the gears already turning. Something innovative enough to catch the judge's attention but also practical. I've got an idea, I said slowly, and it's just crazy enough to work. Paige, Marcus's voice turned serious, this isn't just about getting back at your brother. This scholarship is legitimate. You'll need a solid business proposal that stands on its own merits. I've got one, I said, pulling out my worn notebook. Been working on it since my first week here. A program connecting healthcare workers with reliable, safety-focused transportation. Here, I flipped through pages of research and planning. I've documented how many nurses and medical techs struggle with transportation issues after long shifts. Naomi grabbed the notebook, flipping through pages of calculations and plans. This is actually really good. You've used your nursing experience to identify a real problem. It should be. I've lived it. I checked my watch, habit from my nursing days. I need to prepare for tomorrow's sales training with Dominic. About that, Marcus interrupted. I talked to the owner. We need someone full-time in the safety and reliability division. That's a step up from your current position. I stared at him, momentarily speechless. Are you serious? Dead serious. You've got a knack for explaining safety features to customers, especially families. Your medical background gives you credibility that our other salespeople can't match. Plus, you'll have more time to work on your scholarship application. My voice caught. Someone actually believing in my potential felt foreign after years of family dismissal. Thank you, Marcus. Don't thank me yet. Dominic's waiting out front to start your specialized training. Dominic? Naomi perked up, a smile brightening her face. My brother Dominic? The one and only? Marcus grinned. Figured we could use an ex-automotive engineer teaching safety features. Customers trust someone who knows both cars and safety inside and out. I gathered my things, mind already mapping out next steps with the precision I'd once reserved for patient care plans. I need to update my resume and notify my clinical supervisor about the career change. Already done, Naomi said with a triumphant smile. Sent an email to your nursing director explaining you've received a career advancement opportunity. She says congratulations and to keep in touch, by the way. Her efficiency reminded me of why we'd been friends since nursing school. Walking to the front showroom, I found Dominic leaning against a sleek hybrid sedan, his stance relaxed but his eyes analytical, already assessing the vehicle's safety features. Ready to start, Paige? More than ready. I paused, a thought forming. Hey, Dominic, how much do you know about Corvettes? Specifically, recent models with potential carbon monoxide issues? Everything there is to know, including their ventilation flaws and exhaust system vulnerabilities. Why? His eyebrow raised with professional curiosity. Because my brother's precious Corvette is going to be at the auto show, and I might need some expert safety insights. I kept my voice casual, but something in my tone must have communicated more because Dominic's eyes lit up with understanding. Say no more. But first, let's teach you how to properly analyze and sell safety features better than anyone in this city. Your medical background gives us a unique advantage. The next few hours flew by as Dominic walked me through the intersection of automotive engineering and safety. His technical knowledge complemented my medical background perfectly, and I absorbed every detail like I once had with medication protocols. Just as we were finishing up, my phone buzzed with a notification. I glanced down to see a message in the family group chat, Family Dinner Sunday. Trevor's got big news about his car show preparation. Everyone must attend. Mom, I typed back, can't. Working on certification training. Her response appeared instantly, accompanied by the dreaded typing indicator that showed she was just getting started. You're always working. Family should come first. Your career change doesn't exempt you from family obligations. I laughed out loud, the sound sharp and unexpected even to my own ears, drawing curious looks from passing customers. Funny. That's not what you said when you gave away my medical school fund for Trevor's midlife crisis on wheels. I hit send before I could reconsider, watching the double check marks appear without any response. Typical Eleanor Davis move, retreat when confronted with truth. Naomi appeared beside me, concern etched on her face. Want to grab dinner? We can work on transitioning your healthcare insights into your scholarship application. Actually, I said, mind working on multiple tracks at once, I need to make a few calls. The auto show is looking for healthcare partners to discuss driver safety, right? Paige. Naomi's tone carried a familiar warning, the same one she'd used when I'd pulled double shifts during the pandemic. What exactly are you planning? I smiled, thinking about Trevor's smug face when he dismissed my medical career while showing off his new car. Let's just say Big Brother isn't the only one who understands the importance of making a proper entrance. But mine will actually save lives. You're terrifying when you're in strategic mode, you know that? I can practically see your nursing brain organizing a care plan, except it's not for patient recovery. Good, I said, already dialing the number for the show's health and safety coordinator. Because this is just the beginning of something important. As the phone rang, I watched the sunset glint off the hybrid and electric vehicles in the lot. Each one represented someone's commitment to a safer future. Soon I'd have my opportunity, and this time, no one would be able to dismiss my expertise. The scholarship interview is at 10 a.m., and the auto show safety panel starts at 2 p.m., I explained, spreading papers across Dominic's immaculate workstation. That gives me exactly 4 hours to change and prepare my safety demonstration. Dominic wiped his hands on a microfiber cloth, studying the auto show layout with the precision of an engineer. Trevor's Corvette will be in the premium display area, right here? He pointed to the center of the diagram. Prime spot for maximum visibility when the safety issues are identified. Perfect, I smiled, but Naomi looked concerned, her counselor instincts clearly engaged. Are you absolutely sure about this approach, Paige? The scholarship should be your primary focus. This feels personal. Trust me, I've got the interview preparation solid. But this. I gestured to our safety materials and carbon monoxide detection equipment. This is about more than just personal satisfaction now. It's about protecting people from unsafe vehicles that prioritize aesthetics over safety. Speaking of the show, Dominic interrupted. Lillian from the event committee called. They're thrilled about the dealership's healthcare partnership angle, especially the safety demonstration scheduled before the awards. Marcus really came through with that sponsorship, I said, arranging my presentation materials. Did you finish the safety inspection on Trevor's Corvette model yesterday? Dominic's expression turned serious. I did. The ventilation system in that particular model has concerning flaws. With the modifications your brothers made to the exhaust system, it's potentially creating dangerous carbon monoxide seepage into the cabin, especially during prolonged idling. The exact symptoms you described him complaining about: headaches, dizziness, confusion. And would these issues be obvious to qualified judges? I asked, keeping my voice professionally neutral. Crystal clear. Especially when someone with medical training explains the correlation between the vehicle defects and the physiological symptoms. He gestured to my prepared materials. Your presentation on driver safety after long work shifts ties perfectly into this real-world example. Naomi groaned, running a hand through her hair. You two are terrifyingly methodical. No, I corrected, arranging my medical reference materials. We're just ensuring safety standards aren't compromised for aesthetics. Pass me that event schedule. The workshop door opened, and Marcus walked in carrying coffee and bagels. Planning a safety intervention before breakfast? That's dedication. More like finalizing educational materials, I said, gratefully accepting a coffee. Did you speak with the auto show safety panel? Better, Marcus pulled out his phone, showing an email. I'm now on it. Turns out, being the sponsor's healthcare initiative's representative has its advantages. You didn't tell me that. I nearly spilled my coffee. Wanted it to be a surprise. His expression turned serious. But remember, Paige, whatever happens at the show, your scholarship interview must remain your priority. This is about your future, not just exposing unsafe practices. It will be. I've been practicing my presentation with Naomi every evening. Show them, Naomi prompted. I straightened up, switching into the professional mode I'd perfected during nursing presentations. My proposal addresses a critical safety gap for healthcare workers and their transportation needs. By partnering with local dealerships and medical facilities, we create a program that provides reliable, safety-focused vehicles to medical professionals who often drive home after exhausting shifts. The program includes fatigue detection technology, enhanced safety features, and maintenance education specifically tailored to high-stress professionals. Damn, Dominic whistled appreciatively. You actually sound like you know both worlds inside out. Because I do. I pulled out more documents, arranging them with the precision I once used for patient charts. I've got statistical analysis of post-shift accidents among healthcare workers, focus group results, and 3 major hospital systems interested in piloting the program. The owner's completely sold on the concept, Marcus added. Says it's exactly the kind of socially responsible initiative the dealership needs. My phone buzzed with yet another notification from the family group chat. Trevor's practicing his acceptance speech for Best in Show. Eleanor says you should be here supporting your brother. Dad, they still have no idea you're presenting at the safety panel? Naomi asked, reading the message over my shoulder, her eyebrows raised in disbelief. Absolutely none. And they won't find out until the perfect moment. I showed them another document from my meticulously organized portfolio. Look what I discovered in the show guidelines. Healthcare professionals can register for the safety demonstration panel until 2 hours before the event begins. They're specifically looking for real-world experience with vehicle safety issues. Dominic laughed, the sound genuine but with an edge of anticipation. Your brother's going to have a medical emergency of his own when he sees you demonstrating the carbon monoxide leakage on models identical to his precious Corvette. That's precisely the point, I agreed. But first, I pulled out a folder labeled Maxwell Scholarship, Healthcare Transportation Initiative. Help me practice this interview one more time. The scholarship remains my primary objective. For the next hour, they fired questions at me from every angle. Each answer flowed more confidently than the last, my nursing experience lending authenticity to my responses. I realized with growing certainty that this wasn't just about settling a score anymore. It was about creating something valuable from the ruins of my medical school dreams. One last thing, Dominic said as we wrapped up. I've been working on something special that ties perfectly into your healthcare transportation concept. He pulled a covering off a vehicle in the corner of the workshop. My jaw dropped involuntarily. It was a restored classic Mustang, gleaming in deep burgundy, but with modern safety modifications subtly integrated throughout. Dominic, this is... Words failed me as I circled the vehicle. He finished my sentence with quiet pride, a perfect fusion of classic design and cutting-edge safety technology. I've been restoring and upgrading it in my spare time between consulting jobs. The engine's perfect, the interior is immaculate, and I've added fatigue detection sensors, enhanced visibility systems, and emergency response integration, all the features from your healthcare transportation proposal. It's the perfect demonstration vehicle, Naomi added softly. A beautiful car that prioritizes the driver's well-being, just like your program aims to do. I ran my hand along the smooth paint, feeling the cool metal beneath my fingertips. They won't know what hit them, professionally speaking, of course. That's exactly the idea. Marcus checked his watch with purpose. 2 weeks until showtime. Let's make every hour count. As we tidied the workshop, I found myself continually drawn to the Mustang. It represented everything I'd been working toward: innovation, dedication, and the sweet satisfaction of exceeding everyone's limited expectations. My phone lit up again with a private message from Trevor. Mom says you're being difficult about family dinner again. When are you going to grow up and support your family instead of playing car salesman? I typed back with deliberate calm, soon. Sooner than you think. What's that smile about? Naomi asked, studying my expression with the practiced eye of a counselor. Just thinking about how some people never see a paradigm shift coming until it completely changes their worldview. I picked up my scholarship materials, organizing them with clinical precision. Now, who's ready to help me refine this interview presentation one more time? I want to ensure the medical statistics are absolutely bulletproof. The workshop buzzed with focused energy as we worked late into the night, each of us aware that in 2 weeks everything would change, and this time, I'd be the one directing the outcome. "I can't believe you're missing Trevor's big moment for some job interview," Mom said, stirring her coffee with aggressive little taps against the ceramic. I'd finally agreed to breakfast, primarily to maintain the element of surprise. "He's been working so hard on his presentation." "You mean the speech he's giving about a car he bought with my medical school fund?" I kept my voice clinically calm, spreading a thin layer of jam on whole grain toast. "Besides, this interview is important to my future." Eleanor's spoon clattered against her saucer. "More important than family?" Funny how family only matters when it's about Trevor. Dad lowered his newspaper with a frown. "Paige, that's not fair." "Fair?" The word stung like antiseptic on an open wound. I pulled out my phone, displaying my banking app. "See these deposits? 3 years of night shifts, overtime during a pandemic, and missed holidays. That's what I've been doing while Trevor practices his speech about dedication and hard work." "At least he has proper career ambitions," Mom snapped. "All you do is sell cars and take business classes." "What happened to the nursing career we paid for?" The doorbell chimed, saving me from a response I might regret. Trevor burst into the kitchen, waving a printout with his characteristic flourish. "Guess who's practically guaranteed to win Best in Show?" He sprawled across a chair, radiating self-satisfaction. "The preliminary judges already love my application. It's essentially decided." Mom beamed with maternal pride. "We never doubted you for a moment, honey." My phone vibrated against the table. A text from Marcus: "First-round scholarship results are in. Check your email immediately." "Excuse me," I murmured, stepping into the hallway where privacy allowed my hands to shake freely as I opened the email. "Congratulations. We are pleased to inform you that you have advanced to the final round of the Maxwell Scholarship for Business Innovation competition. Your healthcare transportation initiative proposal shows exceptional promise." "Paige," Dad called from the kitchen. "Your brother's telling us about his plans for the winner's circle photo. The whole family will be included." I walked back in, tucking my phone away, a calm settling over me. Let them have their moment of anticipation. Mine was building with each passing day. "Oh, Paige," Trevor smirked, examining his manicured nails. "I forgot to ask, how's public transportation working out for you? Bus running on schedule these days?" Actually, I grabbed my keys from the counter, their weight reassuring in my hand. "I need to go. Some of us have meaningful work to complete." "Work?" He laughed, the sound brittle and forced. "Is that what you call selling used cars to desperate people who don't know any better?" I paused at the door, tempted to reveal everything but restraining myself. "You know what, Trevor? Keep talking about other people's desperation. It'll make what comes next so much more." I caught myself before saying too much. "Never mind. Enjoy practicing your speech." The drive to the dealership cleared my head, the familiar routine of checking blind spots and maintaining safe following distance as automatic as checking vital signs had once been. Naomi was waiting in the parking lot, practically bouncing with anticipation. "Well," she demanded the moment I stepped out of my car. "Did you advance?" I wordlessly showed her the email. She squealed with delight, pulling me into a tight hug. I knew it. I absolutely knew it. "How was the family breakfast?" "Predictably painful." I unlocked my office, the space already feeling like mine despite its newness. But none of that matters now. Everything's aligning perfectly. Marcus appeared in the doorway, his expression triumphant. Ready for more good news? Lillian from the show just confirmed your safety demonstration slot immediately before the awards ceremony. You're officially on the program. Perfect timing. I settled at my desk, pulling up the event schedule. In the workshop beyond, I could see Dominic applying final touches to the Mustang's safety systems. It gets even better, Naomi grinned. Show her, Marcus. He handed me a glossy program booklet. On the cover was a striking image of various show vehicles with Safety First emblazoned across the top. Is this the official show program? Turn to page 3. There it was, a full-page feature on the special safety demonstration, highlighting the importance of vehicle safety for healthcare workers. No presenter named, just compelling statistics about post-shift driving accidents among medical professionals. Lillian was extremely receptive to the healthcare angle, Marcus explained. When I told her about a safety demonstration that could potentially save lives, she immediately gave us a prime slot. My phone buzzed with another message from Trevor. Mom's upset you left breakfast. Why do you always have to make everything about you? Says the guy who stole my medical school fund for a car with safety defects, I muttered under my breath. Focus, Naomi reminded me gently. Final scholarship preparation tonight? Can't. Family dinner. Apparently, I need to show more support for Trevor's big moment. I made air quotes around the words. Marcus leaned against my desk, concern evident in his expression. You know you could skip it. Concentrate on your scholarship presentation instead. No, I said firmly, gathering my materials. I need to be there. Need to observe their dynamics when they're celebrating him. It'll make next week's revelation so much more impactful. That evening, I endured another excruciating family dinner. Trevor monopolized the conversation with car show details, while Mom and Dad hung on his every word like devoted audience members. The judges are going to be amazed by the custom exhaust work I've had done, he boasted, gesturing with his fork. No other entry will have anything like it. I bit my tongue, thinking of Dominic's meticulous safety modifications on the Mustang that actually prevented exhaust issues rather than exacerbating them. Paige, Mom said sharply, her tone cutting through my thoughts. Your brother is discussing his important day. The least you could do is appear interested. Oh, I'm completely fascinated, I replied, standing up with deliberate calm. In fact, I can't wait for the show. It's going to be absolutely unforgettable. You're coming? Trevor looked genuinely surprised, his fork suspended halfway to his mouth. Thought you had that oh-so-important interview. I wouldn't miss it for anything, I replied, grabbing my jacket with deliberate calm. Trust me, big brother, you're going to witness exactly what happens when safety and substance triumph over superficial modifications. As I drove home, my phone displayed a calendar notification that sent a surge of adrenaline through me. 1 week until scholarship interview and safety demonstration. 1 week until everything changes. 1 week until professional validation. The dealership wants to do what? I stared at Marcus across his organized desk, certain I must have misunderstood. Offer a comprehensive safety package to the best in show winner, he repeated, sliding the detailed proposal toward me. Owner's idea. Said your healthcare transportation concept impressed him so deeply, he wants to fully commit to the safety angle at the show. But that means if my car wins, it gains additional safety features, and if Trevor's wins. Marcus grinned, finishing my thought. His car gets essential safety upgrades too, potentially fixing those dangerous exhaust issues. Either way, it promotes vehicle safety and generates tremendous positive publicity. I picked up the glossy brochure, examining the impressive package details. This is a $50,000 comprehensive safety modification package. Indeed. And guess who they've selected to announce this safety initiative at the show? My eyes widened with realization. Me? Really? I couldn't hide my surprise. You're our top safety consultant now, Paige. It makes perfect sense for a healthcare professional to present a safety-focused prize. The door swung open as Naomi rushed in, practically radiating excitement. Did you tell her about the safety package? Wait until you see what else we've arranged. She spread photographs across the desk, professional images of the Mustang, now featuring reflective safety markings that made it look simultaneously beautiful and intelligent under studio lighting. Dominic has outdone himself with the integration of aesthetic appeal and safety innovation, I acknowledged with genuine admiration. That's not even the best part, Naomi continued enthusiastically. Lillian called from the show committee. They want your healthcare transportation safety demonstration positioned immediately before the final judging. Prime educational spot. My phone vibrated with a new message from Trevor. Just saw the safety package prize announcement. Guess I'll be winning a car and upgrades in one day. Maybe I'll let you install the safety features yourself. Perfect timing, I muttered, showing them the message. He has absolutely no idea I'm the healthcare professional presenting that safety initiative. Speaking of excellent timing, Marcus checked his watch with purpose. The scholarship committee representatives have arrived for your final proposal review. My professional composure momentarily faltered. What? That wasn't scheduled until next week. Surprise preparatory session, he explained, opening his office door to reveal 3 individuals in professional attire. They're conducting courtesy evaluations for all finalists to provide feedback before the official interviews. The next hour was intensely rigorous. They scrutinized every element of my healthcare transportation proposal, challenging assumptions and requesting supporting data. Fortunately, my years of defending medical assessments during rounds had prepared me well. All those late nights refining my presentation were evidently worthwhile. Impressively comprehensive, the lead evaluator commented afterward, particularly your first-hand understanding of transportation safety issues affecting healthcare workers after extended shifts. Thank you, I replied, maintaining professional composure despite my internal excitement. It's an initiative I'm deeply committed to from both personal and public health perspectives. After they departed, Naomi embraced me enthusiastically. You absolutely nailed it. Their body language showed clear engagement with your concept. Let's reserve celebration, I cautioned, checking my calendar. We still need to successfully navigate the official interview and the demonstration. About the demonstration. Dominic appeared in the doorway, workshop dust clinging to his clothing. There's something you need to see. He led us to the service area, where a Corvette identical to Trevor's was elevated on the hydraulic lift. Standard pre-show safety inspection, Dominic explained professionally. Observe these areas. He indicated several concerning spots beneath the vehicle. Exhaust system modifications compromising cabin air quality. Any qualified safety inspector would immediately identify these hazards. And the show judges include several vehicle safety certification experts, Marcus noted significantly. Precisely. Dominic lowered the vehicle carefully. The cosmetic modifications won't distract from these potentially dangerous flaws. My phone vibrated with another message, this time from Mom. We're hosting a pre-show breakfast celebration for Trevor's big day. Attendance is mandatory or don't bother appearing at the show. Unbelievable audacity. Naomi read over my shoulder, shaking her head in disbelief. They still have absolutely no knowledge of your safety demonstration? None whatsoever. And it remains confidential until precisely the right moment. I turned to Dominic with professional focus. Is the Mustang's safety system integration complete? Beyond ready. It represents the future of healthcare worker transportation safety. He cleaned his hands methodically. Incidentally, Lillian requested a preview of your safety presentation materials. She emphasized the need for impactful educational content. It will definitely leave an impression. I retrieved my tablet, displaying my meticulously prepared presentation. I've developed something with legitimate educational value. We spent the next several hours finalizing every critical element: scholarship interview strategy, safety demonstration timing, prize announcement protocol, nothing left to chance. One additional matter, Marcus said as we concluded preparations. The owner asked me to provide this to you now. He handed me an official envelope. Inside was an employment contract. My hands trembled slightly as I read the terms. Is this a director-level position heading the Healthcare Transportation Safety Division starting after graduation? Marcus smiled with genuine pride. He was tremendously impressed by your innovative approach and healthcare background. But what if I don't receive the scholarship? Review the terms carefully. The position is guaranteed regardless of the scholarship outcome. He's investing in your expertise and vision. I sank into the nearest chair, momentarily overwhelmed. All this time focused on proving my worth to my family, and instead, you've established your professional value beyond question, Naomi completed my thought. My phone illuminated with another message from Trevor. Mom's irritated you haven't responded about my celebration breakfast. Stop being professionally jealous and act like supportive family for once. I examined the contract thoughtfully, then glanced at the safety-enhanced Mustang gleaming under the workshop lights, before finally looking at my colleagues, my genuine support network, gathered around me. Inform Mom I'll definitely attend, I said, typing my response. Wouldn't miss this particular morning for anything. That breakfast will certainly provide memorable context for what follows, Dominic observed with knowing amusement. I signed the contract with steady, confident hands. 7 days remaining. The scholarship interview chamber felt more compact than during the practice session. 3 evaluators sat opposite me, reviewing my healthcare transportation safety proposal with professional interest. Dr. Harrington, the committee chair, leaned forward with engaged curiosity. Your program addresses a critical safety need for healthcare worker transportation, but what specifically inspired this particular solution approach? I took a measured breath, centering myself as I'd done before delivering critical patient information. Direct professional experience. When my medical school fund was repurposed without my input, I discovered firsthand how transportation barriers can derail healthcare advancement aspirations. However, I also recognized that with appropriate support systems, those obstacles can be systematically addressed while improving safety for an essential workforce. 45 minutes later, I emerged from the interview room with the poised confidence I'd perfected during critical care presentations. Naomi was waiting anxiously in the hallway. Well, she demanded, practically vibrating with anticipation. They'll announce the scholarship recipient during the safety demonstration at the show, I replied, checking my watch with practiced precision. Speaking of which, we need to proceed immediately to our positions. We hurried to Dominic's workshop, where he was conducting final safety inspections on the Mustang's integrated systems. Your vehicle awaits, advocate of healthcare safety, he announced with professional pride. Is everything prepared at the venue? I asked, changing into my presentation attire, a tailored charcoal suit with subtle burgundy accents that conveyed both authority and medical professionalism. Marcus arrived 30 minutes ago to oversee setup, Naomi confirmed. Your family's occupying front row seats, completely unaware. Trevor has been expounding to anyone within earshot about his vehicle's supposed superiority. My phone displayed a message from Mom, "Where are you?" Trevor's technical presentation begins in 55 minutes. Perfect synchronization, I smiled, settling behind the Mustang's wheel with quiet determination. Let's proceed with healthcare innovation demonstration. The convention center hummed with activity upon our arrival. Dominic efficiently guided the Mustang to its designated preparation area, while Naomi conducted reconnaissance. Trevor's positioned beside his Corvette, she reported upon returning. Your parents are excessively attentive to his every word. Safety inspection judges commence their evaluations in approximately 18 minutes, with your healthcare transportation demonstration scheduled immediately before final judging. Lillian confirms everything is prepared for your presentation. I discreetly observed the scene around the corner. There stood Trevor, gesturing theatrically while explaining his Corvette's cosmetic modifications to our parents, who nodded with exaggerated admiration. Surprisingly, their blind devotion no longer evoked the pain it once had. Places everyone, Marcus appeared, wearing his official safety panel badge. Paige, you're scheduled first. I straightened my jacket and walked purposefully onto the exhibition floor. Mom spotted me immediately. Paige, you finally arrived. Come see your brother's impressive display. Actually, I replied with professional composure, I'm here in an official capacity. I displayed my dealership credentials. We're presenting a significant safety initiative today. Trevor's expression shifted subtly toward confusion. Wait, you're announcing the safety package prize? They authorized you to do that. The healthcare transportation safety specialist earns that privilege, I explained with clinical calm. But first, the technical safety inspections must proceed. Dad, you might want to document this educational moment. The inspection team approached Trevor's Corvette first. I observed with professional detachment as Dominic, now wearing his automotive engineering credentials, methodically identified each safety concern he had previously documented. Trevor's confident expression deteriorated with each technical revelation. These modifications raise significant safety issues, the lead inspector noted, recording detailed observations. Particularly concerning for a competition vehicle. But the custom paint finish, Trevor began defensively. Doesn't mitigate potentially hazardous exhaust system modifications, Dominic concluded with authority. Shall we proceed to evaluate the mystery healthcare transportation entry? The assembled spectators followed the inspection team to where Naomi was carefully removing the protective covering from the Mustang. Audible expressions of appreciation filled the space as the comprehensively safety-enhanced restoration was revealed. This, Dominic announced with professional satisfaction, represents genuine integration of aesthetics and safety engineering. Who developed this vehicle? Someone inquired from the audience. I stepped forward with quiet confidence. I'm the healthcare transportation specialist who conceptualized these safety innovations. The expressions on my family's faces reflected complete astonishment. Eleanor's coffee actually slipped from her grasp, splattering across the polished floor. Impossible, Trevor sputtered, visibly shaken. You can't possibly afford, actually, Marcus interjected smoothly. Paige has demonstrated exceptional understanding of both healthcare worker needs and automotive safety engineering. Speaking of which, he gestured toward Lillian, who handed me the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, I began, addressing the gathered audience with the clear, authoritative voice I'd developed delivering critical medical information. Before we announce today's technical evaluations, we have an important presentation. Today, we're celebrating not just automotive design but safety innovation, professional determination, and the transformation of challenges into opportunities. That's why I'm honored to announce that the Best in Show recipient will receive a comprehensive vehicle safety enhancement package from our dealership, designed specifically to address the needs of healthcare professionals who drive after extended shifts. Appreciative applause followed this announcement. Additionally, I continued, turning toward where the scholarship committee had assembled. I'd like to welcome Dr. Harrington and the Maxwell Scholarship Committee to join me. I noticed Mom clutching Dad's arm in confusion. Dr. Harrington approached and accepted the microphone. After thorough evaluation of all candidates, we're pleased to announce this year's full-ride Business Innovation Scholarship recipient, Paige Davis, for her Healthcare Transportation Safety Initiative. The audience responded with enthusiastic approval. Trevor's complexion transitioned rapidly from flushed indignation to ashen disbelief. My parents remained motionless, visibly processing this unexpected development. A scholarship, I added with professional restraint, that provides precisely the educational funding that was originally designated for my medical education. Camera flashes illuminated the stage as I exchanged professional handshakes with the committee members. Lillian stepped forward with the technical evaluation results. And now, for our Best in Show Technical Excellence Award. I briefly made eye contact with Trevor across the exhibition floor. He appeared diminished standing beside his cosmetically enhanced but technically compromised vehicle. The winner, receiving perfect safety and technical integration scores from all evaluators, the 1967 Mustang with healthcare worker safety enhancements, engineered by Dominic Murphy and developed by Paige Davis. The convention center responded with enthusiastic approval. Through the ensuing congratulatory activity, I glimpsed my parents attempting to comprehend the situation. Trevor had vanished from view. Naomi embraced me warmly. How does professional validation feel? I examined my scholarship certificate, then surveyed my safety-enhanced Mustang, and finally acknowledged my supportive colleagues, Naomi, Dominic, and Marcus's beaming with genuine professional respect. More satisfying than vindication, I responded thoughtfully. Much more meaningful than mere validation. The aftermath unfolded in a succession of interviews, congratulations, and inquiries. Local journalists gathered to document the unexpected story of an innovative healthcare professional who had secured both technical recognition and prestigious scholarship support. Paige, a reporter, positioned a microphone before me. How does it feel to establish new standards in both vehicle safety engineering and healthcare transportation innovation? Before I could respond, Mom pushed through the assembled media representatives. Paige, we need to discuss this immediately. Her voice carried a familiar, demanding tone. Actually, Lillian intervened professionally. We require Paige's presence for official documentation photographs. Family discussions can be scheduled subsequently. I noticed Trevor slumped dejectedly in a corner, Dad attempting to provide consolation, as Lillian guided me toward the photography area. You didn't mention the scholarship component of your healthcare initiative, she noted, positioning me beside the Mustang. That created quite an impactful narrative. Speaking of impactful narratives, a professional woman with a quality media credential approached. I represent the Tribune. We'd like to feature your healthcare transportation initiative in our Sunday Health and Safety section, from healthcare challenges to transportation solutions, an innovative approach. Would you be interested in discussing your development process? I glanced toward Naomi, who nodded encouragingly. Yes, I would appreciate that opportunity to share these safety concepts with a broader audience. Excellent. Perhaps we could begin with your integration of healthcare expertise into automotive safety. Before she could complete her question, Trevor approached with barely contained agitation. You orchestrated this entire situation deliberately to undermine my achievement, he accused loudly. No, I responded with clinical composure, conscious of the surrounding journalists. I developed this initiative to address genuine safety concerns for healthcare workers. The recognition of its merit is secondary to its potential benefits. Secondary benefits, he laughed bitterly. You commandeered my moment exactly as you claim I appropriated your education funding. His statement resonated clearly in the sudden attentive silence. Several journalists discreetly activated recording devices. You're correct about one aspect, I acknowledged calmly. The situations differ significantly because while you redirected my medical education funding toward a vehicle with genuine safety deficiencies, I invested countless hours developing professionally meaningful safety innovations, earned scholarship support through legitimate competition, and created a sustainable program with potential public health benefits. Paige, Mom attempted to intervene. Can we please discuss this privately as a family? Why now? I turned to address her directly. You consistently declined discussing the education fund reallocation privately. In fact, you explicitly refused any discussion whatsoever on that topic. The journalist's pen moved rapidly across her notepad. Marcus appeared beside me. The dealership owner would like photographs with both the winning safety-enhanced Mustang and the healthcare transportation prize package you'll be presenting. Of course, I replied with professional courtesy, addressing my family with calm detachment. If you'll excuse me, I have professional responsibilities to fulfill. As I walked toward the photography area, I overheard the journalist inquiring about Trevor's vehicle safety modification issues identified during inspection. His fragmented responses became increasingly inaudible as I proceeded. The subsequent hour passed in a flurry of photographs, interviews, and congratulations. The dealership owner formally announced my appointment as Healthcare Transportation Safety Division Director, adding further professional validation to the afternoon's developments. Eventually, the activity subsided to manageable levels. I found myself momentarily alone with the Mustang, appreciating its seamless integration of classic design and modern safety technology. How are you holding up? Naomi appeared with fresh coffee, her counselor's instincts evidently engaged. Better than anticipated, I accepted the cup gratefully. Processing the professional implications. Process efficiently. The Tribune wants to conduct their interview at the dealership, something about where healthcare meets automotive innovation. Our conversation was interrupted by Dad's hesitant approach. He stood awkwardly, hands in pockets, uncharacteristically uncertain. Might we speak briefly, Paige? Naomi squeezed my arm supportively before discreetly stepping away. About what specifically? I asked directly. How you permitted Trevor to appropriate my medical education funding? Or how you consistently failed to acknowledge my professional achievements? Perhaps about how I supposedly disappointed your expectations? About how completely I failed you, his voice cracked with genuine emotion. Observing your accomplishments today, witnessing everything you've developed independently. I've never simultaneously experienced such profound pride and profound shame. Pride? I couldn't suppress a skeptical laugh. That's certainly a recent development. I should have recognized your potential consistently throughout. He retrieved something from his pocket, a faded photograph of me at 16, methodically cleaning my first car while simultaneously studying a medical terminology textbook. You always possessed this exceptional drive and focus. I simply failed to acknowledge its value. Before I could formulate a response, Dominic called from the technical area. Paige, the safety demonstration photographer needs you for one final documentation shot. Go, Dad encouraged quietly. You've absolutely earned this professional recognition. As I proceeded toward the photography area, Mom intercepted my path. We should have recognized your capabilities, she admitted with uncharacteristic humility. Yes, I responded simply, that acknowledgement was warranted. The photographer positioned me centrally between the safety-enhanced Mustang and the healthcare transportation prize package, with Dominic and Marcus flanking me professionally and Naomi standing supportively nearby. Perfect composition, the photographer approved. The winning innovation team, Marcus suggested. My actual support network, I corrected, ensuring Mom could hear the distinction. Later, as the crowd gradually dispersed, Lillian presented me with numerous business cards. You've received requests for interviews, speaking opportunities at safety conferences, and healthcare transportation consulting possibilities. Evidently, people respond positively to innovative cross-disciplinary solutions. This isn't about personal redemption, I observed, watching Trevor loading his Corvette onto a transport trailer, his movements reflecting clear disappointment. It's about meaningful professional advancement. No, Marcus joined our conversation, it's about comprehensive growth. Consider your professional evolution. My phone indicated a message from the Tribune journalist, ready for your interview whenever convenient. Your healthcare transportation safety initiative could potentially inspire significant industry improvements. I surveyed my professional support network, Naomi's unwavering encouragement, Dominic's technical expertise, Marcus's consistent mentorship, and responded with newfound certainty. Yes, I confirmed via text, I'm prepared to discuss these safety innovations comprehensively. Because sometimes the most meaningful professional achievement isn't about personal vindication, it's about advancing important solutions and never limiting your vision to past constraints. The Tribune feature article catalyzed remarkable professional momentum. My communication channels hadn't stopped receiving inquiries since the publication appeared, regional news programs, healthcare podcasts, and even a national medical transportation journal expressed interest in the Healthcare Transportation Safety Initiative. Your inbox is overflowing with inquiries, Naomi observed, scrolling through my professional emails. 3 major hospital systems want to implement your healthcare transportation safety program immediately. I was organizing documentation on my new executive desk, the recently installed door plaque reading Healthcare Transportation Safety Division, when a tentative knock interrupted my concentration. Come in, I called, looking up to see Trevor standing uncertainly in the doorway, appearing somehow diminished from his previous confident persona. Hi, Paige, he began hesitantly. Have a moment to discuss the Corvette's safety evaluation results? I sold it, he continued, stepping inside with hands thrust awkwardly into his pockets. Used the proceeds to enroll in the community college business program. I set down the safety initiative documentation, genuinely surprised. You did what? The unexpected news momentarily displaced my professional composure. Your Tribune article, it prompted me to reconsider my priorities and choices, he explained, withdrawing a carefully folded newspaper from his jacket. You said something here that resonated deeply. Meaningful success isn't determined by what you're given, but by what you're willing to contribute. I've been reflecting extensively. Trevor, please let me explain completely, he requested, sitting down with uncharacteristic humility. My behavior was inexcusable, entitled, and self-centered. When Mom and Dad offered me your medical school fund, I accepted without consideration. I simply took it thoughtlessly, like I've taken every advantage throughout our lives. The office door opened again as Eleanor and Richard entered with evident apprehension. We need to speak as a family, Dad stated quietly. I have a healthcare transportation committee meeting in 20 minutes, I cautioned, checking my calendar. This won't require much time. Mom placed a substantial envelope on my desk. This contains the equivalent of what we provided Trevor, plus appropriate interest. We've been oblivious to our favoritism, Paige. We've been truly terrible parents. Financial restitution doesn't address the underlying issues, Dad acknowledged with genuine regret. But it represents a beginning. The remainder, he gestured toward my office and achievements, you've admirably accomplished independently. My phone displayed a message from Marcus, Healthcare Transportation Committee meeting in 5 minutes. Bringing hospital administrators and safety engineers. I need to attend this meeting, I stood, gathering my presentation materials. But I appreciate your acknowledgement of the situation. Trevor reached into his messenger bag. I brought something else that might interest you professionally. He withdrew a course catalog, opening it to a highlighted section. The Healthcare Administration Program. I wondered if you might consider offering guidance about relevant courses that would complement your transportation safety initiative. Before I could respond, Naomi entered with professional urgency. Paige, the hospital administrators arrived ahead of schedule. I looked thoughtfully at my family, really examined them properly. Mom's expectant expression, Dad's hesitant smile, Trevor's humbled demeanor, then glanced around my executive office, the physical manifestation of my professional achievements. Wednesday evening dinners, I proposed finally. We could begin rebuilding our relationship with weekly dinners. And regarding your educational questions, I collected the course catalog, schedule an appointment tomorrow. We'll review appropriate healthcare administration courses that align with industry needs. Visible relief transformed their expressions as they departed. Marcus entered with a group of hospital administrators and safety engineers, prepared to expand the healthcare transportation initiative. Ready to transform healthcare worker safety, he inquired. More than ready, I confirmed, gathering my presentation materials confidently. Naomi, could you please reschedule my afternoon appointments? There's something important I need to address following this meeting. Already managed, she replied efficiently. Dominic's waiting at the technical center with something he wants to show you. The committee meeting proceeded exceptionally well, with healthcare administrators immediately recognizing the potential impact of the Transportation Safety Initiative. As they departed with enthusiastic congratulations, Marcus remained behind. You seem different today, he observed thoughtfully. Lighter somehow. Resentment requires more emotional investment than reconciliation, I acknowledged. I'm prepared to focus completely on moving forward constructively. At the technical center, Dominic stood proudly beside the gleaming safety-enhanced Mustang, but my attention was drawn to an unexpected addition. A moderately worn sedan with healthcare worker transport program pilot vehicle discreetly displayed on its side. Our first participant vehicle, Dominic explained with professional satisfaction. Structurally sound, but requiring safety system upgrades. Full of potential, not unlike another vehicle I recall working on, and perhaps another healthcare professional, he added with subtle emphasis. Naomi smiled in agreement. My phone displayed one final message from Trevor. Thank you for considering educational guidance. I genuinely appreciate the second opportunity. I responded simply, thank you for demonstrating willingness to earn it. Studying the modest sedan awaiting transformation, I recognized parallels to my own journey, the challenges, determination, and ultimately professional success. However, I now perceived beyond my personal narrative to broader implications. Dominic, I said decisively, teach me the fundamental technical aspects of these safety systems. I should understand them thoroughly. Why? He questioned with surprised interest. You're division director now, not technical staff. Because sometimes individuals require more than standardized programs or organizational policies, I explained, examining the vehicle's safety components thoughtfully. Sometimes they need guidance from someone who genuinely comprehends both the technical challenges and personal journey involved. Naomi embraced me spontaneously. Look at you, transforming professional setbacks into healthcare innovation. Not merely innovation, I clarified with growing certainty. Evolution, for patients, healthcare workers, and transportation safety standards. Marcus appeared in the technical center entrance, accompanied by additional hospital representatives eager to implement the initiative. I surveyed my professional colleagues, then considered my gradually healing family relationships, the safety-enhanced Mustang that demonstrated my capabilities, and this humble sedan that would help validate another healthcare worker's essential contributions. I believe we're prepared, I affirmed confidently. Because truly meaningful outcomes aren't measured by individual accomplishment or organizational recognition. They're about developing sustainable solutions from challenging circumstances and creating opportunities for others to benefit from those innovations. Absolutely correct, I concluded, bringing everyone's attention to the implementation plans. Let's proceed with implementation. We have numerous healthcare workers' safety needs to address, and this time, the benefits extend to everyone involved in patient care.
When I went to greet them at the door, I saw not only my husband, Marcus, but also a woman holding a baby. Who is she? Vanessa, my ex-girlfriend. What? I'm divorcing you. I'm done with you and the kids. Divorce? What are you talking about? Fortunately, our son Louis is at the library and hasn't returned home yet. Gracie, unfortunately, is visiting but is upstairs in her room. As you can see, I want to marry her, so I'm divorcing you. Hi, I'm Vanessa, Marcus's ex-girlfriend. Vanessa, holding the baby, introduced herself. She seemed pleasant, but her eyes were filled with pity for me. This baby is Marcus's child. You're joking. The baby sleeping quietly in Vanessa's arms is Marcus' child. I couldn't process it. How did this happen? I ran into Vanessa at work about 2 years ago. Right, we were both so shocked. When I visited the client, we both went, "What? Your face was priceless back then. And your face was hilarious too." They exchanged nostalgic smiles. What am I even listening to? Since then, we started meeting again. Honestly, I still had feelings for you, so it felt surreal. Same here. We had broken up after a fight, so I never stopped thinking about it. But meeting again was wonderful. I'm so happy now. I'm glad you were still single. This reunion feels like destiny. Marcus put his arm around her waist, pulling her closer to him. I couldn't bear to watch, so I averted my eyes. Vanessa spoke to me, adding to my anguish. "Trinity, what is it?" Her voice trembled, and she looked as though she might cry. "Please let me have Marcus. He is married to me. I know, but I can't raise this baby alone." "Then why did you have an affair? You brought this on yourself." "Well, hey, stop making her cry. Vanessa, it's okay. Don't let her words bother you." Marcus, my husband, was comforting Vanessa, not me. Watching her play the victim made me sick. "Trinity, your kids are already grown, right? They don't need a father anymore. I need him more than you do." "Grown? My son just started college. If he's in college, he's basically an adult. That's not the point. I think now is the perfect time for me to marry Vanessa. Do you have any idea how much I've supported you? We talked about traveling together once the kids didn't need us anymore." Tears welled up in my eyes. I've always put him first, and this is what I get in return. He looked at me, irritated by my tearful voice. "I'm the only one who can take care of her and the baby. So, just divorce me." "What about Louis' tuition? He just started college. Let Gracie handle it. She works for a big company now. She probably makes more than me." My daughter Gracie, unlike me, excelled academically, graduated from a prestigious university, and started working for a major international company this spring. "You can't just dump everything on her like that," I snapped back. "It's fine, I'll pay." Gracie, since when had she been there? Gracie appeared from the staircase. Well, well, that's what I call a big earner. Great. Now I can finally cut ties with you all. Cut ties? There's an idiot standing right here. Hey, Dad, don't think you'll get away with this alive. How dare you speak to your father like that? Marcus flinched at Gracie's tone. Huh, aren't you getting divorced? That means you're no longer my dad. You're just an awful, cheating old man who fathers kids with other women. Awful. Gracie, right? I don't think that's good. Vanessa stepped in to defend Marcus. Can you stay out of this? You're just a disgusting old woman who has affairs and has kids on the side. Disgusting old woman. Vanessa couldn't hide her shock. Although Vanessa looked like she was in her early 30s, Gracie must have considered her an old woman. What a rude child. I'll make sure my kids never grow up like that. Oh, really? Confident you can manage that? I'm taking your dad for myself. Are you sure? This man is in debt? You know. What? Oh, it came back to me. Right, Mom. Yes, that's right. I completely forgot. Debt. What are you talking about? That's not something for you to worry about. It's not a big deal. It's a big deal. Gracie, stay out of this. Then I'll explain. He lost his savings years ago in a fraud scheme. Fraud scheme. Yes. When the kids were still in elementary school, my mom lent him money when we didn't know how we'd manage. Marcus averted his eyes, looking guilty. He must have hoped I wouldn't bring up the debt. My mom passed away 5 years ago, and the debt got overlooked. But you can't just skip out on it. How does Gracie know about this? Grandma told me. Dad, you were really disliked by Mom's relatives. They called you a useless, debt-ridden man. They mocked me behind my back. Getting mad won't change anything. Grandma's gone now. Marcus slammed his fist into the wall, venting his anger. You're going to damage the house. Stop it, or you'll wake the kids. Marcus realized and lowered his fist, bringing up the debt now. You had to stir things up. When Grandma passed, the debt became Mom's responsibility. If you want a divorce, pay it back in full first. Gracie's merciless words were enough to corner Marcus. But I have no way to pay it back. You don't even have savings. That's pathetic. Gracie feigned shock, and Marcus's pride as a man was utterly shattered. Her ears were bright red, and her lips were trembling. Unbelievable. I had no idea you were in debt. Vanessa muttered in a low voice, different from the way she had pleaded to take Marcus earlier. Vanessa, don't touch me. She pushed Marcus's outstretched hand away and looked at him with disdain. You were going to marry me without saying a word? Wow, I was so close to being dragged into your mess. I'll make sure I don't bother you, Vanessa. Yay, but some of your salary is going to repay that debt, right? No way. Vanessa, forget about the remarriage. Bye. Vanessa turned on her heel and stormed out of the house at lightning speed. Hey, wait, Vanessa. Marcus tried to chase after her, but Vanessa had already disappeared into the darkness. Well, that sucks. Guess that's a deal breaker. I'm chasing after her. What? With those words, he also dashed out at full speed. What was that? I can't believe that awful man was my dad. It makes me sick. Gracie slammed the front door shut as she spoke. It made me happier than anything else to see her angrier than I was. I'm sorry, Gracie. I'm so sorry you got dragged into this. It's not your fault, Mom. It's all because of that awful dad and that disgusting old woman. I'll take care of the house, so don't worry and focus on your work, Gracie. Mom. She looked at me with an unusually serious expression. Are you really okay with this, Mom? Gracie. It makes me so mad. You've done so much for him, and this is what you get. So what should I? Leave it to me, Gracie said, pounding her chest. I've got a foolproof plan. Just trust this clever, quick-witted brain of mine." With a sly grin, she headed upstairs to her room. Is she going to be okay? Despite a tinge of unease, I decided to trust her. A few days later, Marcus came back to the house. Here, Marcus handed over a bag that contained 5 stacks of bills. Where did you get this? Better to borrow from a lender than to owe you, right? You took on more debt just to repay me? Are you an idiot? I want to marry Vanessa that much. The debt's paid, so we can divorce now, right? Of course. Marcus pulled out a paper from his bag and placed it on the table. Sign this. His section was already filled out. Got it. I took out a pen and wrote without hesitation. After checking for errors, I handed the divorce papers back to Marcus. I'll file these later. See you. Without a backward glance, Marcus left the house. I noticed a smile creeping across my lips. A week later, I received confirmation from Marcus that the divorce papers had been processed. What's that, Mom? It's proof that the divorce has been finalized. Well, looks like we're done here. Yes, we are. Gracie grinned and returned to her room in high spirits. A month passed, and I enjoyed a peaceful life. But one quiet afternoon, the doorbell rang, disrupting the calm. Yes, when I checked the monitor, it showed my ex-husband, Marcus. What do you want? Please, let me in. Seeing Marcus panting heavily, I immediately knew something was wrong. I opened the front door and faced him. Marcus was not only out of breath, but also drenched in sweat. Why are you in such a hurry? I'm being chased by debt collectors. I can't go home. Let me stay here. No way. This has nothing to do with me. I'm coming in. Hey, wait. He slipped past me and forced his way into the entrance. Wait. You can only stay in the entryway. I spread my arms wide, trying to block him from going any further. Let me in. I need to talk to Gracie. Gracie? Even so, you're not coming any further inside. Gracie? Hey, Gracie, are you up there? Come down if you're here. Marcus yelled upstairs. Could you be any louder? Oh, it's you, awful dad. How's life? Don't mess with me. This is your fault. What are you talking about? Gracie tilted her head, feigning ignorance. Don't play dumb. The loan company you recommended. Oh, I see. She answered with deliberate nonchalance. You said if I needed to borrow money, that company was a good choice. Their office looked clean, and their employees seemed nice, so I trusted them and took out a loan. What's the problem? I asked, and Marcus, eyes bloodshot, turned to me and shouted. The interest rates were outrageous. Well, of course. They're notorious loan sharks. She casually stated without a hint of remorse. You did this on purpose, didn't you? I just made a suggestion. It's your fault for falling for it. Outrageous interest rates. How much are we talking about? 40% every 10 days. 40% in 10 days. I felt my knees weaken. Gracie had said she'd referred Marcus to a shady lender, but I never imagined it was this bad. I shivered at how ruthless my daughter could be. This is insane. The interest costs more than the loan itself. That's how loan sharks work. Gracie, completely indifferent, fiddled with her nails. Her attitude only made Marcus angrier. Is this how you treat your father? Hey, I've already told you I'm not your daughter anymore. Your family is that stupid woman and your baby. Go back to them. I can't go back yet. Blaming me doesn't make sense. You were the one who signed the contract. Didn't you check the terms properly? He faltered at her words. Well, I needed the money quickly to convince Vanessa, and they seemed trustworthy. How foolish. I let out an exasperated sigh. See, in the end, You decided they seemed trustworthy and signed it. It's not my fault. Gracie stepped closer to Marcus, emphasizing her point. If you keep yelling, I'll tell the debt collectors where you are. No, please don't do that. Marcus grabbed Gracie's arm in fear. Gracie shook him off, as if she had touched something dirty. Well, even if I don't, they'll probably figure it out soon. No, they wouldn't go that far. Are you underestimating debt collectors? They'll chase you to the ends of the earth. You're kidding me. I introduced you to one of the toughest collectors. So yeah. The cruelty in Gracie's words sent chills down my spine. I trusted you because you were smart and well-educated. I thought what you said couldn't be wrong. I appreciate the compliment, but this time I used you. I knew you'd fall for it without a second thought. This is your fault. It's all because of you. Stop it. I stepped between Marcus and Gracie to shield her. Get out of the way. I'm not moving. Marcus and I locked eyes in a fierce stare down. I was determined not to lose, and kept my gaze steady. Marcus was the first to look away. She did this for me. Don't blame her, Mom. Do you hate the idea of me remarrying that much? It doesn't matter anymore. Whether you end up with Vanessa or not, I don't care. But I will never forgive you for hurting me and the kids. Maybe it was the first time I raised my voice at Marcus. He stepped back, startled. I wanted to get back at your selfishness, so I asked Gracie to help. How does it feel now? Panicked. You fell for it. Hopeless man. Gracie laughed hysterically. Marcus seemed furious, as if being bitten by the family he had abandoned. He looked ready to destroy the entire house in his rage. Of course, if he did, I was prepared to call the police immediately. I told you, didn't I? Don't think you can just walk away and live your life. Gracie's face suddenly turned serious, her expression icy. Marcus gulped nervously. Is this the ending you wanted? Do you think it's over with just this? Marcus trembled, his hands shaking. There's more. The debt collectors will relentlessly chase you, even if you run to the farthest corner of the country. Chase me. They'll even go to your parents' house. They don't care who pays, as long as they get the money. Wait, you mean they might show up at my parents' place? Exactly. They will do whatever it takes to collect. So you'd better figure something out quickly. I can't have them showing up at my parents' house. Marcus' desperation was palpable. His family wasn't wealthy, and when he fell for a financial scam, my family had to step in to help him out. If debt collectors go to your parents, it's only a matter of time before they find out about our divorce. We hadn't told his parents about the divorce yet. My own parents were no longer around, so it didn't matter on my side. You can't tell them you divorced the woman whose family bailed you out, can you? And if they find out the reason was your affair and hidden child, it won't just end with anger, will it? I can't let my parents find out. Then you'd better pay off the debt quickly. The interest will keep piling up. No way. Imagining the growing debt, Marcus shrank pitifully. Then, crawling, he clung to my knees. Please, help me. Help you. Me. Can't you give me the money I paid you back? I'll use it to settle the debt. We're divorced, Marcus. It has nothing to do with me anymore. Please, don't say that. I'm really desperate here. Why don't you ask Vanessa, your new wife, for help? Isn't she working? Well, she quit her job right after we got married. She wanted to focus on raising the kids. Then why not ask Vanessa's family? At the very least, it's weird for you to come to me, someone who's practically a stranger now. I wish I could, but what? Is there something else? Marcus hesitated, looking uncomfortable before finally speaking. Actually, she left with the kid. Are you saying she ran away from you? Clenching his fists on his knees, Marcus replied with pain in his voice. Yay, maybe. Not maybe. She definitely did. Even I would do that if I were her. Have you tried contacting her? I can't reach her by phone or email. I have no idea where she is. All I got was divorce papers and a demand for alimony. Well, your life's over. You're going to be chased by debt and alimony for the rest of it. Damn it. When did everything go so wrong? He looked like a tragic hero, but let's not forget. This is the guy who cheated on his girlfriend and even had a child with someone else. There's absolutely no room for sympathy. You're all I've got left. Please, help me. Don't touch me. When I pushed Marcus away, it marked the third time in a month he'd been rejected. First Vanessa, then Gracie, and now me. You'd think he'd give up after this much rejection, but Marcus was persistent. Just lend me some money. I swear I'll pay you back. Trust me. How am I supposed to trust someone who tried to hide his debts until Gracie exposed them? You're the least trustworthy person I know. Just give up and go home. Live with the fear of debt collectors. Even Gracie, I've already stopped thinking of you as part of my life. So stop counting on my paycheck. Gracie, anticipating Marcus's next move, cut him off before he could say anything. Realizing he was about to ask Gracie for money, Marcus swallowed his words. Come on, get lost already. Go play tag with the debt collectors, or something. Please don't say that. I don't know what to do anymore. Finally, Marcus started to cry. Tears streamed down his face as he sobbed like a child. But neither Gracie or I felt anything for him. What the hell? Why are you crying? You brought this on yourself. Marcus, with eyes red and swollen, looked up at us. He wasn't the same man who had dismissed us as irrelevant just last month. What were those 20-something years we spent as a family? Were they meaningless to you? Of course, they meant something. Up until last month. But you're the one who destroyed that. Marcus had no comeback. All he could do was bow his head and accept the situation. At that moment, I had a thought. So far, I had gone along with Gracie's plans for revenge. But now I wanted to take my own revenge on this man. The urge hit me suddenly. Hey, Marcus, I called out, and he looked up eagerly, as if he'd been waiting for this. There's one thing I forgot to tell you. Can I say it? What? Go ahead. Marcus looked at me with hopeful eyes. But unfortunately, what I'm about to do is not to help him. I was overwhelmed by the thrill of betraying his expectations and watching him hit rock bottom. Didn't you and Vanessa have a child together? I yell. Vanessa took the kid away from me. I can't forgive her. You might want to investigate that kid a bit more closely. What? I smirked and leaned close to Marcus' ear. Because the real dad might be someone else. Huh. Marcus froze, staring straight ahead. Hey, are you okay? He's completely frozen. Well, it's no wonder. Hearing that the baby you thought was yours might actually be someone else's would do that to anyone. What the hell are you talking about? Marcus looked at me as if I was his worst enemy. In not joking. Then why would you say such nonsense? Is it nonsense? Really? I went to the living room and grabbed a few photos. When Marcus saw what I was holding, his expression turned suspicious. What's that? You want to see? Just hand it over. Marcus snatched the photos from my hand and stared at them intently. What the hell is this? I was shocked too. I mean, Vanessa barged into our lives saying she was going to remarry you. And here she is walking arm in arm with another man. The photos were taken in a well-known downtown area. In the background, numerous hotels could be seen. This definitely raises questions about whose child it is. Gracie peered at the photos, looking amused. When were these photos taken? Marcus, still unwilling to believe it, asked a pointless question. How could I know the exact moment their affair started when this was my first clue? They were taken 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago? Right after you remarried her. Exactly when we got married. Oh dear. Marcus stared at the photos as if trying to burn holes through them. He must have been struggling to process it. That guy, he's Vanessa's high school classmate. Looks like they've been seeing each other for a while. High school classmate, a guy her age is a much safer bet than someone 14 years older. Right, Vanessa told me she loved me. And yet, this is the result. She cheated on you too. What a perfect match you two are. Liar, liar, liar. Marcus stood up and grabbed my shoulders. Please, give me that guy's contact information. Like I'd know that. And even if I did, do you think I'd tell you? Then at least give me his name. Figure it out yourself. I'm just presenting you with the facts I discovered. Unforgivable. He's really started mumbling now. She told me she loved me. And all the while she was meeting someone else. You could say the same thing about yourself. Gracie whispered into my ear. I nodded slightly. And the kid might not even be mine. Why did I go through all that effort to remarry her? Marcus kept muttering ominously, unable to stop complaining. Was I tricked by her? No, that must be it. The dad situation isn't confirmed yet. Vanessa herself might not even know. Then I'll have to find her and make her tell me. Do you even know where to start? Her family's house. If they don't tell me, they'll force it out of them. What if the child isn't yours after all? Of course, I'll demand compensation. Isn't that obvious? I was tricked into marrying her. As if struck by a brilliant idea, Marcus spoke confidently, slowly regaining his energy. I'll make sure the compensation exceeds my debt. That'll set me free. Yes, yes, yes. You're completely out of your mind. He roared like a madman, appearing to be a broken man incapable of rational thought. At that moment, who could it be? The doorbell rang, and without checking the monitor, I stepped outside. There stood 2 men whose appearance clearly signaled trouble. Excuse me, but is there a man named Marcus here? You've got to be kidding me. They've already found this place. From the barely open door, I heard Marcus's frightened voice. And who are you? We're from a financial services company. Marcus has defaulted on his repayment. Wow, that sounds serious. We're aware that you're no longer married to him, but we thought he might be here. Thank you for your diligence. Please, just tell them I'm not here. His desperate plea echoed from behind me. But having no intention of getting further involved, I decided to hand Marcus over to them. Yes, he is here. I flung the door open. What? I'm no longer associated with him, and honestly, it would help me if you took him. Thank you for your cooperation. The debt collectors swiftly grabbed Marcus by the arms and hauled him out of the house. Trinity, please help me. Take responsibility for your actions and pay back your debts. Let's go. Stop struggling. No, please. Stop it. Bye-bye. Gracie, help your dad. How many times I have to tell you? You're not my dad. Damn it. Damn it. Sobbing, Marcus was dragged away by the debt collectors, disappearing from our sight. When his cries faded completely, I let out a deep sigh of relief. Nice job, Mom. Gracie, thank you so much. Aren't you glad you left it to me? Yes, I feel so much better now. Later, I heard from Marcus's family that he managed to borrow from a legitimate lender and repay the shady ones. However, with no savings and a salary from his company that could never cover the debt, he decided to work on weekends as well. On weekdays, he continued working at his regular job. And on weekends, he registered with a temp agency to take on part-time jobs. But even so, there's no clear timeline for when the debt might be repaid. One day, I received a message from Marcus through his family. I went to your house the other day, but no one was there. Oh, we moved. Where to? There's no way I'm telling you that. At least let me see the kids. I'm lonely. Every single day. The kids don't want to see you, and neither do I. Don't think for a second that you'll ever get to see us again. I am sorry. I'm so sorry. I could hear him sniffling on the other end of the line. It seems that only now Marcus is finally facing the sadness and pain of losing his family. He knows better than anyone that it's too late for regrets. Following her suggestion, I'm now living with her and my son, the three of us together. My son's tuition is being covered by the money Marcus paid back, and by Gracie's earnings. I'm sorry. In the end, I had to rely on you, Gracie. Well, it's not like we had a choice with him being the way he is. Plus, I'm a high earner, so it's no big deal. Her cheerful demeanor always lifts my spirits. I decided that I shouldn't add to her burden, so I've resolved to get a job. Having been a housewife until now, I know finding work won't be easy, but I'm determined to give it my best shot.